Hi everyone, my name is Karina Tovar and I am here with
Hi there, I am Jesse Siciliano. We are working side by side on some OFL side by side modules, talking about the different topics involving like whether like job employment, abuse, bunch of different topics.
yeah. And we are going to be giving you guys kind of a tutorial, right, Jesse, or an overview of how it
Yes.
looks like to
hmm
do a side-by-side module. You'll see, we'll go through the different topics available, and
Yes.
Jesse, you'll be able to pick which one you want to complete. And hopefully we give you guys a little better understanding of how you could do this with the associates that you support.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So let's get started.
And away we go.
All right, Jesse. So we're going to go through the different titles under the side-by-side learning modules
hmm
and talk about the description a little bit. And then I want you to tell me which one you're most interested in taking. We're going to
Okay.
be reviewing the module together, explaining
hmm
some of the material the way we both understand it as we go along, answering some
Yes.
questions,
hmm
and that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to go
Okay.
ahead and go through each one, and then you stop me when you want to enroll in one. Okay.
hmm
All right.
All right.
So this very first one is called, oh, also there's an option to watch a trailer on each module if you.
All right.
Okay. So this first one is called About Abuse. Abuse is everybody's business. That includes you. To make sure that you and others stay safe, you must be able to recognize abuse and respond to abuse by reporting your concerns. This module will help you recognize abuse, and you will learn more about how, where, and when abuse happens. This is related to mandated reporting, kind of have we
hmm
reviewed during your orientation,
Yeah.
but different ways on recognizing abuse and how to report it, even when it's
hmm
happening to someone else.
Okay.
Autism, I think you took one on autism in the full length modules, correct?
Yeah, I did two of them. One on just autism, and then the other on both autism and sensory processing.
Yeah, so this would be
Yeah,
a different version of that.
yeah, um,
This third one is about being in control. It
mhm,
explores ways of being in control of your own life and why it's so important. I just went
mhm,
ahead and expanded it a little bit, just understand some of the things that may prevent you from being in control,
mhm,
explain the help you need so you can be in control, and understand that everybody can be in control.
mhm.
Okay. Interested in any of these so far? Should I keep going?
Just keep going.
Keep going, yes, sir. All right, about friendships and community. So again, I think you took a similar one, correct, in the full
Yeah.
length? All right, so this one, it says, you may have a lovely home and a nice community, but you could still be lonely. Some people with disabilities have experienced abuse and discrimination and have been not allowed to have ordinary opportunities to be a part of community life and to form friendships. This one is about person-centered planning. Jesse, have you had a path plan or a discovery plan or any person-centered planning uh, done with you?
Not that I know of. I know that I'm pretty much working on like getting employed, but I'm not sure if there's anything person centered. I'm not sure if there's anything about person centered planning I've that maybe someone has gone over with me, but I can't tell you that I've actually have completed the module on person centered planning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. The path plan or discovery plan, there's different names for it just because there's
hmm
different types of maybe like roadmaps that someone can do
Yeah.
with you depending on your preference.
hmm
But it's normally done on a huge canvas paper that's kind of put on a wall.
hmm
And like Julie Snyder does them, Jackie, Anna. I've only had a chance to do one myself, but
Mhm.
so many different people can put them together, and it's basically a way of helping you identify what your north star is, or what your dream goal is, and
Mhm.
what are some doable steps that we can do and that your support circle can do in helping you achieve that. So it
Okay.
might be interesting to see if there's a way, maybe on a different day, because I know we're already doing this training today,
Mhm.
where, I mean, I brought a whiteboard with me and a canvas paper. Maybe we can do your discovery plan together and put
Yes.
together some sort of video training. I think that might be cool. I also brought some markers just to kind of help carve out what some of your goals are, your big
Okay.
dreams. And it doesn't have to be just employment related. I mean, it could be if you wanted it to be,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
it could be absolutely anything under under the sun or the moon that you wanted to
Mhm.
work towards. So I don't know. That's a little sideline conversation, but that might be cool for us to do.
Mhm.
All right, so next, circle of friends. We all have and need people in our lives. A circle of friends is a good way to make your life better. This module describes how to start a circle of friends, how you can keep control over the process, and how a circle can help you in many different ways. Oh, here's one about employment. How about it's employment part one, thinking about employment, just because I know that that's really important to you.
Mhm.
So let's actually watch the video for this one.
Welcome to the side-by-side module, Thinking About Employment. This module is a side-by-side learning module. It was designed so that you and the person who supports you can learn together. After finishing this module, you will be able to understand the different things that might make it difficult for you to find a job. Explain the many benefits and the importance of employment. Discuss whether employment is something that you would like to think about more. Contact us for more information, for a free demonstration or trial, or to sign up.
Mhm. And there's a few more on employment. Do you want me to
Mhm.
continue?
Huh?
Yes? Okay. This one is types of employment. It says that if you're thinking about employment, it's good to know that there's different options and different ways of getting work. It goes into describing paid employment a little bit more, customized employment and how that's different from traditional employment.
Mhm.
And it describes the meaning of self-employment and the different types of small business opportunities. This third one says, or goes into more detail, how you can find and keep employment. It helps in understanding ways of employment and how it can benefit you, explains the importance of the discovery process, some of those things that we were talking about before, and how that can help you in planning with others. Describe the process of applying and interviewing for employment, which I think you have lots of experience in, giving your current employment, and
Mhm.
explain how you can keep a job once you have found one.
Mhm.
Would you like me to keep going?
Um.
Go up
Um.
a little bit here.
Let's just stop at the employment. Uh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's three. One that is just the early stages, maybe thinking about getting employment. The second one is exploring different types of career or employment opportunities. And this third one, the focus is in finding and keeping a job once you have one. Is there one that maybe calls at you a little bit more?
Hmm. I would say to go over like all three parts, but if it's something that, but I know how to. I'm already thinking about employment, and then, I could learn about the types of employment,
All right.
like the other opportunities.
We can do all three if you want, Jesse. The
Yeah.
modules are about 30 minutes each. So
Mhm.
it's really up to you if you wanted to
Yeah.
start with the first one and maybe just go one by one.
Yeah. Let's do one. Yeah. Let's do them one by one, just so we can. Yeah.
I think that's a good plan.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and enroll in this one. Do you have something that maybe you can take notes with next to you, or do you need a few minutes to gather that?
Didn't take long at all.
I know, let me gather mine to
Yeah.
a blank page so I can be right there with you. All right, got my pen here. All right. And we can take breaks throughout this if you want, Jesse. I know we're recording, but I can just simply pause it.
Oh no, that's fine. We can keep going until I guess. It depends on how long it is. We might even finish. Before the end of my shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just go ahead and get started here. I'm going to hit
All right.
enroll now for this first one. Yes, we have 30 days. And it should take us right in. Was the sound okay when we were watching the intro video?
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it clearly.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Let's see, it's buffering there. All right, Jesse. So similar to the full-length ones that you've been taking, this module has 6 different chapters that we're going to be going
Mhm.
over. The first
Yeah.
one is an introduction to the module.
Mhm.
The second one focuses on what can make locating or finding a job a little difficult. The third one is things that make it difficult to find a job. What's the
Okay.
difference between these two? Things that make it difficult to find a job. Few people have paid employment, changing the way people think, changing what people think is possible. And then this third one focuses on the benefits of money, transportation, and lack of training. Okay.
Okay.
This fourth one is how to, oh, I jumped around a little bit. It's okay, I'll just navigate back. How you feel about yourself, adding meaning to your life and a full life. This one is building community, work friends, more money, and then just a conclusion. So we are going to jump in.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Oh, did I go out a little bit?
No, I think it's on my end, but I can hear you clearly now.
Okay. Okay. Let me know if at any moment you want me to stop, and if I don't hear you, we can also do like little signals to each other.
All right.
All right. So we're gonna jump in with chapter 1, the introduction.
Mhm.
All right. So how to complete this module. This module is a side-by-side learning module. It was designed so that you and the person who supports you can learn together. Some helpful tips that it gives us is turn on the voice over audio narration button below so you don't need to read this text. You decide if you want to take this module. You need to be doing this because you want to, not because someone said you had to, which I think is really important, that if
Mhm.
people are going to be doing this with the people they support, that they kind of do how we did and go one by one and give the option of which one they want to take.
Mhm.
What would you say? Do you think that that was beneficial, that we kind of went one by one and let you decide, or what do you think about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. You decide how much of the module you want to do each session. So again, if at any point you wanted to take a break and maybe we can split one by one each day, or if you wanted to just do all 3 today, totally up to you. When you need a break, take one, yes. Watch the short films as many times as you need to. So if there's anything that you want me to replay, let me know, Jesse, and I'm happy to do so.
All right.
Take a moment after each page to check and talk about what you've learned. So that's kind of what we'll do together. We'll kind of share each other's thoughts, but I really want to hear from you. And when you're asked to write your thoughts, you can have your support person help you with typing if needed. I know that typically you do type out your own notes, but since it's on my end over here that I'm kind of navigating the module and recording, you can just share your thoughts with me and I'm happy to type those in for you. Yeah? Okay. All right. Any questions so far, Jesse?
No.
Yeah? Okay. All right, so this module features presentations from a range of leading professionals and self-advocates, including Frida Rawson, Steve Diamond, and Jack Pierpoint. If you would like to learn more about these people, watch the film on this page. Would you like to watch the film?
Yeah.
I'm Frida Rosen. I'm Job Paths Director. I've been here practically my entire adult life. I started at Job Path 2 years after the organization was founded, so I've really made this my being here and made employment for people with disabilities my life's work. It just always seemed to me, growing up a child of the 60s and wanting to do something that would be useful to the greater good, that one of the ways you could best have an impact on people's lives, people who had been excluded from the workforce, was by helping them become part of the workforce. Since we live in a society where it matters, where who you are is what you do.
Jack Pierpoint is an independent Canadian publisher and catalyst for inclusion, diversity, teamwork, and change. Jointly with his wife and partner, Linda Kahn, Jack conducts workshops, consults with organizations, to engage in positive change that honors the gifts and contributions of all. Earlier, Jack, his late wife Marsha Forrest, and John O'Brien collaborated to create several person-centered approaches, such as PATH, MAPS, and Circles of Friends. The collaboration continues now with John and Linda.
Hi, my name's Steve Diamond. I'm co-chair of Cornwall's Learning Disability Partnership Board. I'm also chair of a charity called Cornwall People First, which is a charity run by 4 people with learning disabilities. I'm also a consultant for Organi Associates.
All right. Do you have any questions on just this introduction of our speakers?
No.
No? I think it's really interesting when Frida Rosen said, who you are is what you do. That's interesting, right? I just wrote that down and I was like, oh, for everyone. Okay, we're turning the page. All right. Everyone can work. A lot of people think that employment is only for those who are very able, and that most people with disabilities do not have the ability to work. They are wrong. In this film, Frida Rosen explains how people with profound or complex disabilities have been written off in the past. This means no one thought they would ever work. Everyone can work.
There are certain people who, are written off right from the get-go. And that's not to say that someone, for example, who has multiple disabilities, who may have complicated mobility, issues coupled with intellectual disabilities, certainly it can be a challenge to find the right situation for people who have complex needs. But, and this is not my quote, but this is a quote from Mike Callahan, who we've learned from, and we think of him as the creator. Maybe he's just one of the creators of customized employment, so I don't know how you want to say that, but he said he's never found at least one task that person could bring to the workforce. At least, and that's why he focuses on the tasks that people can do and that they can bring to the workforce. So I think if you start from that, you have to start from that belief.
Jesse, any thoughts on the video we just watched?
She said everything I would have said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought it was good that people, we all, everyone can work, and doesn't matter if we have special needs. We each bring our unique skills and.
Yeah, and I think everyone, regardless of disability, needs some type of support, right? Not every place of employment is for everyone. We all kind of have to go through life finding our perfect fit. So I think it's exactly the same whether there's a disability or not, right? Okay. About this module will look at the good things about employment and explain why employment is important. After completing this module, you may want to learn more about how to find a job by taking our side-by-side modules called Types of Employment and Finding and Keeping Employment. I think those are the two that you are also interested in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're on chapter 2. Things that make it hard to find a job. People have paid employment. Very few people with disabilities have paid employment. Most people who do not have disabilities have paid employment. This is a big difference. This chapter looks at some of the things that might make it difficult for you to find a job and explains how you can get past these difficulties. Okay. Changing the way people think. It can be difficult for people to change the way they think about things. Some people will not want you to take any risk or be working in the community. They may want you to stay in services for people with disabilities, like in a day program, day service, or center. This is why people with disabilities sometimes say they feel overprotected. You may need help from other people to talk to these people and to help them to understand how employment can work for you. This will help to manage and answer their concerns. Jesse, have you ever felt that maybe the services that you were in have kept you from employment, or do you think that maybe the services that you have received in the past have helped you with employment? What are your thoughts on that?
With employment, I have gotten experience and I have learned, the skills on how to, depending on the job, just how to manage and, fit my need to complete a task. And so far I've been getting great help and I've got lots of experience.
What kind of experience have you had in the past?
I was in the Project Search program, assisting people in the hospital. I was in three departments. I was in the urgent care department. I was in food and nutrition, and then I was in the sterile processing department.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there I've worked, on keeping a consistent pace when, trying to complete my tasks. I focus on one task until moving up from another. I try not to rush But then again, that is something I have to keep practicing and not, mess up. But, I've been doing well now. But, that was something I learned. That was something I had learned. And then when I got my job at ISS, I ended up learning how to, where things go, how, cleaning the props and all that. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome,
Yeah.
Jesse. All right, we're going to continue here. Okay. Changing the way people think is possible. Many people with disabilities have faced low expectations since birth. This means that people did not believe they would achieve the same things as people who do not have disabilities. Parents, schools, and doctors are just some of the people who have supported these low expectations. You may need help to raise your own and other people's ideas about what is possible for you. You may be capable of more than you or others think. It will help to make, achieve, and celebrate small goals to show others what you can do. Jesse, have you ever encountered someone maybe not thinking that you can partake in some of the activities that you just shared with me? And if you haven't,
So far, not really. I mean, most of the people that supported me have been very supportive to the fact that they don't question my need to like do things to the point where I get upset that I feel like I can't do this or that. But I haven't really experienced. I haven't really thought of. But I mean, I would. I mean, I know how I would feel when someone would tell me that, but I haven't gotten nobody that has supported me had negative thoughts about me and the way I work on things.
Awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm also interested to hear you said that you know how you would feel if that were to happen. Do you mind sharing a little bit of that with me?
I mean, I kind of. I mean, I didn't have it. I mean, I wasn't. I mean, I didn't have a rough life, but I did. I just. I guess because. I would feel upset if for some reason, someone told me I couldn't, work on a certain activity. But I mean, that would probably be due to my low, I think, self-esteem or something. Like probably me thinking that I'm not good enough to do this or that. Like if someone were to tell me, that would just get me upset in a way that
Yeah, I can completely see how that can give you low self-esteem. I think for anyone, me too, if someone was constantly telling me that. Awesome. Okay, we're going to continue here. Oh, we have our first interactive notes. So our interactive notes, I know you have lots of experience with these, are just your thoughts on some of the stuff that we've reviewed.
Yeah.
And I think the question touches on what we were just talking about. Have you experienced low expectations, and how did you change what others thought you could achieve? So I know you were just sharing some of those things with me, but what would you like me to write in this section for you on have you experienced low expectations, and how did you change what others thought you could achieve?
I mean, from when I started, there weren't any low expectations, but then people started to have faith in me and supported me in what I need to improve, what I can do, and from there I was able supposed to be doing, excuse me, and that made me the person that I am, and I now know that I am capable of so much more.
Awesome, Jesse. Just had one mistake here. Awesome response. Do you want to add anything else, or should I go ahead and save and close it?
Save and close it.
Save and close. All right, excellent. Okay, chapter 3, we are halfway there. Things that make it hard to find a job. Benefits of money. Some people are worried that they will lose their benefits and have less money. This is sometimes called the benefits trap. The reality is that people are rarely worse off for having a paid job, but it is different for everybody. Speak to your local advice center to help to learn how your benefits may be affected. Going on to the next page. Transport. It is likely that you will need to use public transport to get to work. You might be concerned that you do not know how to do this well. Lots of organizations now offer travel training and ongoing support with transportation. Your support staff may also be able to help you learn a new route. Jesse, you take public transportation on your own, right?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah? How did you learn to do this? Or did you have staff support? What did that look like?
I did before. I was at Miller before, like before my senior year, before the project search thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the qualifications was that I had to learn how to take public transportation, and then I met up with someone from Green Lake to Mobility who pretty much taught me the do's and don'ts of public transportation, how to look for specific landmarks, and pretty much where I'm going. And of course, I use a transportation app. There's lots of them, but I mainly use Transit, and I could use maps too, but Transit is one I prefer using. Yeah. But I would look up the route, and then they would just tell me like how many buses and how far it is from here, and from there I'm able to locate my route. And then if I'm familiar with that route, I don't even need to open up Transit. The only time I would open up Transit is to figure out what time the bus comes. Mm-hmm. But for a location I don't know, I would pretty much look it up. Mm-hmm. But more or less I know where I'm going. Mm-hmm. But if I needed to, I would look up the route.
Awesome. What would you tell someone, Jesse, who's maybe a little bit nervous of learning how to use public transportation for the first time?
I've actually had that question. I've actually had to ask that question before, but yeah. Hi, Kitty. I mean,
to say hi.
All I could say is just, believe in yourself. Don't be scared. Even if it's your first time, you can just make sure you're safe and you're not engaging in any conversations with anyone, with any random person, and just pay attention to where your stop is, and you should be good to go. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Couldn't get much easier than that.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. I'm going to go ahead and turn the page here. All right. So, lack of training. You may not have been trained to do a job. Your support staff person can help you look into training. But remember, often the best way to learn the job is by doing the job. Any questions so far, Jesse, or how are you liking this?
I'm learning more.
Awesome. All right, we're on to chapter 4 now, the importance of employment. Okay, so how you feel about yourself. Employment offers you the chance to be part of a team and to be respected for what you can do. Employment can also help you improve how you feel about yourself. Some people call this your self-esteem. kind of like we were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
In this film, Chad, the manager of a bookstore in Brooklyn called Book Court, talks about their employee Keith, who is supported to accept a position in the store, and how he feels Keith has benefited from working there. The job at the Book Court is the first job Keith has ever had. In the past, he was told he would never be able to achieve paid work. And now we're going to watch this video.
Okay.
I'm general manager of Book Court, and been working with Keith. I guess it's been a number of months since he first joined us. There are a myriad of responsibilities. Principally, he does a lot of dusting for us. He sweeps. It's a wonderful sweeper of leaves that fall during the fall foliage out front. He straightens, he alphabetizes sections. He really pitches in on any kind of chores that we need, and I think all our staff has a unique relationship with him. And just observing him over the last few months, it wasn't that he was in a shell, but he was a little more shy and reserved. And now, since he's comfortable with the staff and the store, the routine, his full personality, I think, is reflective. He's lovely to have in here, and I think he's embraced the store. He certainly has embraced our staff, and I think it provides him a lot of avenues that he possibly would not have had. I think it's built his self-confidence. It's given him some improved self-esteem, from what limited amount that I've known Keith. But he's grown dramatically and embraces the staff, and it's actually very charming with the customers as well. It's a win-win situation, I think, for everyone.
Awesome. Any questions or thoughts you want to share, Jesse? Okay. All right. People. What you do for work says a lot about who you are. Employment is about being a citizen to your community. Employment also means earning a paycheck and receiving money, which in turn provides you with a way to control and take responsibility for your life. Jesse, how has your current employment helped you in being in control of your personal life?
One of the only thing that I need to learn is, preserving my, the money that I have earned.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I'm trying to be as responsible as I can be with my money, just not spending it a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe we can do some sort of budget activity together too. Just because, can totally relate. I need to sometimes be better about how to budget or save or spend my money in a wiser way. So if you're ever interested in anything like that in the future, Jesse, we can also do that together.
All right.
Yeah? Okay, awesome. So let's continue. All right. A Full Life. In this film, Jack Pierpoint tells a great story about a man who was experiencing a lot of anger and frustration. After some careful planning, he was supported to find a paying job in the community. The story of this man shows the importance of employment and the power of having a full life that you are in charge of.
Another young man who went through a lot, another enormous amount of energy and a fair bit of anger. And so his family were just stretched to the limits, and he ultimately ended up in a series of institutional circumstances where he got really, really angry, which I think is a pretty reasonable response, but it was a problem. So eventually they managed to find some people who said, we will listen to him and see if we can figure this out differently. And so they got him out, and he started living at home temporarily. And they wandered him around some very small businesses, semi-rural area, and wandered into a relatively new, emergent, pretty high-end pizza place. A big barn they've renovated and turned into a pizza shop. And, they had a lot of boxes and stuff to move, and so they tried him out. He, for whatever reason, loved it. And he's strong. And this is one of the other stories. Then, way back then, people wouldn't allow him near anything because they thought he was dangerous. Now he feeds the pizza oven and cleans the fire. He's around some equipment that I'm nervous around. He's the strong guy. He's the stable one in this whole network. Once again, people have come and gone. He's been there 20 years. And the problem behaviors, so-called, gone. He lives in his own place with a little bit of support. He's a fabulous fisherman. He has an enviable life. Enviable life. Now, some of his personal issues remain, but they're down to 5%. Not behavior management. Good job, good life. Now that he's a worker, he shows up on time because he knows, just like everybody else in the workplace, work starts at 8. And he's there on time. He's early. But he's choosing to do that because he wants to be there and he knows he's needed. And people depend on him because he's got to stoke the oven. And you're not going to have the pizza if you don't get there's a cycle, and he knows that stuff, but he's part of it.
And then I see that this is green, so it's going to ask us for some thoughts here. So, Jesse, how does this story make you feel about employment? And again, I'm just going to be typing as you're sharing your thoughts on this.
It's a tough question.
Do you want us to maybe talk about it a little bit before we jump into typing anything?
I can answer. Just all right.
So, can I just share what I thought about it?
Yeah.
So for me, what it makes me feel about employment is that there's no such thing as someone isn't able to get a job, right? I think it's more about finding the correct job for each person. Like I think about Keith, and I'm sure that a lot of people were probably saying that he was too dangerous or too angry and didn't have enough control over his behaviors to be safely placed in an environment where he's working. But I think that this story completely gives us a new perspective, right? That he hardly is showing any behaviors. I think the speaker said it's down to like 5%. And we all have tough days, right? No one is exclusive from that. So I think that it is really important not to see people's support needs as a reason to keep them from employment, but it's just even more important to find the correct placement for them and where they're happy, where they're passionate about what they're doing, where they're feeling that what they bring to the table is important. Like with Keith, if he wasn't showing up to clean those pizza ovens, there was no pizza. So I think that's what I kind of thought about.
Okay. I guess employment is mostly about, not trying to find a footing. It depends on what job you're getting or that you want, excuse me.
Yeah, very true.
And, depending on the job, there are certain criteria that are expected from the person who is who's getting employed,
Yeah.
and I guess from right, and and as it said in the video, I mean, hold on,
No worries.
in the video, um, it's all about maintaining control, especially where you're in a work environment, and that allows you to showcase what you can do rather than what you cannot do.
Yeah.
And that is very important when considering about job employment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we do see that in Keith's story, right? His capabilities and his strength for a good purpose versus people.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, Jesse. Did you want to add anything, or is it okay if I save and close it?
That's fun.
Save and close it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we're going to continue. I think we're on chapter 5 now. The importance of employment. All right. Building community. Employment can give a direction to our lives, and it can occupy more time and attention than any other single responsibility or activity. Being without paid work can feel like having a gap in our lives and create boredom. Work can help you to be a part of your community. It is also a way to give back to your community. In the film on this page, Jack Pierpoint tells the story of a man who found a way to get to know people and to give back to his community.
We were in a lovely planning meeting, a young man who had a staggering amount of energy. Couldn't get him to slow down very much. But he's fascinated by food. And so he's got a fellow who, really wonderful worker who comes by. And they're having trouble figuring out, A, how to use up his energy and find some kind of work-ish engagement that's going to be meaningful. And they begin to think, he loves going shopping, loves food. What if they became a little shopping business, a small enterprise? Because there's lots of people in the neighborhood, his neighborhood, who, they're a little older, a little this, a little that, but need a hand. And so it was like days. They had knocked on a few doors and started to build up a little roster of errands they were going to do. Commercial enterprise that's going to make a lot of money, we're not talking about that. But networked into the community, doing really valuable stuff for all kinds of people that create safety and comfort for a lot of people. Busy. And no money, no new money. We were already paying for the services that were already there, but suddenly it had a purpose and a reason and was taking off. And sometimes, not too surprising, that turns into paid work.
That's kind of cool. You have any thoughts or questions, Jesse?
No.
No? All right. That's pretty cool how they came up with their own business for him. All right. I think it switched pages. Yeah. So work friends. Many people say that after leaving school, one of the main ways they have made friendships is through work. Paid or voluntary work is an excellent way to make friends and to be a bigger part, of your community. In this film, Steve Diamond talks about how his own work experiences as co-chair of Cornwall Learning Disability Partnership Board and chairman of Cornwall People First have helped him make friends with many different people.
Since I've been doing my job, I've made loads of different friends from all over the place, really. And a lot of the people I work with, I don't see as colleagues; they're more of friends. A lot of the self-advocates that I sort of work with, they're friends, they're not colleagues. And sort of some of the people I work with, how can you be friends with people like that? And I was like, well, they're no different than anyone else. And to be quite honest, it's quite a good laugh sometimes, because they don't look at you as having a disability. You're the same as they are, and you're the same as everyone else. And we have a good laugh, good jokes at times, and we get the work done as well as anyone else does, I think. So it's been since I started the job, I've made hundreds of friends from all over different places, Newcastle, Birmingham, and it's great. You've got a wide range of friends, and because I keep in touch with a lot of my old college friends, but it's not the same thing. I see a lot of the people I work with now sort of on a weekly basis, if not more than that sometimes. So it's all about it's all about who you can trust and who you can phone if you're in trouble, basically, and who you can rely on. And a lot of my friends I can rely on. So yeah.
Jesse, is there any thoughts that you wanted to share about that, or do you want us to continue to the next page?
Let's continue.
Continue? All right. So here it says more money. Many people with disabilities live below the poverty level. This means that they're very poor. Money is important in all of our lives. With money, you can do more things for yourself, have greater freedom, and have more control over your life. Money allows you to enjoy simple things such as shopping, attending events, eating at a nice restaurant, or going on a vacation or holiday. Jesse, do you want to maybe share some of the stuff that the money that you're earning right now through your current position is helping you enjoy?
I have been chipping in here and there, especially like in terms of family outings. If we go to like restaurants, I chip in, and then when I go out to eat, I guess sometimes I would pay for I guess sometimes I would pay for the meal, and then I guess having a job is allowing me to do just that.
Yeah.
And just having, and then I guess another thing, like I'm alright. Like I'm able to borrow some. I'm letting to have someone like borrow the money that I've earned. Especially since they're low, I would chip in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But family, not random people on the street.
Yeah.
Not get ahead of ourselves.
Totally. Yeah. I think, Jesse, I can completely agree. One of the things that I really enjoy, I started working, I think, when I was 18 or 19. And one of the things that I really loved is just what you said, being able to pay for a cup of coffee for my parents or take them out to eat versus them always being the ones who paid for me and our lunch outing. So I think it does feel really good to be able to just contribute and help your family. So I think we're the same in that for sure. All right, I think we might have a question. Yeah. So this one, Jesse, is asking, how could paid employment help you?
It can help me. It has helped me.
You want me to switch this to it can?
Yeah.
No, it has?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, that was my cat's paw.
Yeah. It has helped me realize. It has helped me realize that I am able to help chip in for any sort of family out and helping pay rather than having them pay for me. And with my own money, I'm able to buy what I need, and just as long as I'm in, just as long as as I learn to take control of how I spend my money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Jesse, do you want to add anything else to this, or are you ready for me to save and close it?
Just save and close it. That's fine.
Awesome. Good response. I think in that sentence it captures some of the stuff that we were just talking about. Right. And we have our last one. All right. Think about it. The title to this module is Thinking About Employment, and just to think about it is a really good place to start. Chat over what you have learned with your support staff and your family and friends. You're in control of your future, and you can decide if employment is for you. Remember, it is never too late to start thinking about work. Oh, and this is, I think, our last interactive note. Jesse, what have you learned from completing this module?
I've learned that there are many challenges with. I feel that with the right amount of support, you are able to change what people see in you, and just try to achieve what you're able to do.
Yeah, awesome.
And that is very important.
Awesome. Jesse, is there anything else you want to add, or are you okay if I save and close this?
Let's save and close.
Save and close this. So save and close. And let's move on to the last page, I think. Congratulations, you have now completed the module Thinking About Employment. Yay.
Yeah.
We are back. Jesse, do you want to share some of your thoughts on how that went?
I went pretty well. It's a good opportunity for the different associates to learn just, the different topics we have, we're going over, and, just to have them, learn a bunch of stuff in between.
Yeah, I had a really good time doing it side by side with you and kind of watching some of the videos, and even discovering some of the things that we share in common. Kind of like you said, you really enjoyed being able to help your family and pay for lunch. That's one of the things that I really enjoyed when I first started working. So I think it helped us even get to know each other a little bit better, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, everyone. So we hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions at all, or want more thoughts or opinions, you're welcome to reach out to me or reach out to Jesse. Again, my name is Karina Tovar.
And I'm Jesse Siciliano.
Yeah, and that's all we have for you today. So thank you, everyone.